Salute. How y'all doing? My name is DerrickCWilliams. Shout out and respect due to my newest subscribers. Luke B. Grubbin, Rose Cooking Channel, DeRay's Vlogs Plant, Lynn's Cake Corner, Sherilyn Ledesma, Sweet Sandra Sansaray, Esther Jaffe TV, Lady P. Nija TV, Borgino Wilson, Connie Vlogs, Wild Butterfly, and last but certainly not least, that show boss, Carolina Hillbilly, 1961. I think history is always a very important tool to have in your toolbox. You want to know why things are the way they are. And so it is with the platform that you all use, as do I. It's called YouTube. They started out with very different inspirations as to why that platform came to be, but it is a juggernaut, a behemoth, if you will. And I just want to touch on a few facts with YouTube and its CEO and where we are today. The title of this presentation will be called Their Tube CEO, Susan Wojcicki. And I'm just one man in the comment section on YouTube. YouTube was created Valentine's Day 2005 by 3 PayPal employees by the name of Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jawed Kareem. And initially, the inspiration for YouTube came about by 2 things. One, Jawed Kareem had said that because of Boobgate of 2004, if you remember back, Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson had a wardrobe malfunction. That's the way they called it. But the fact is, Janet Jackson's breast was exposed before millions of people during a halftime Super Bowl performance. And also, Kareem said he had difficulty finding video clips of the Indian Ocean tsunami of 2004. But Hurley and Chen said that they looked at YouTube initially being an online dating service because they couldn't find good videos of dating sites and things like that, and they were a little frustrated. And so they decided, well, you know what, we'll merge all of that, and any video that someone wanted to upload, have at it. And I know that to be true. I think probably one of the greatest videos I've ever seen in my life was a guy having sex with a woman, and he was freestyling. I mean, he was riding the beat some nicely and giving her his all. I just like to fell out the chair when I saw that. That was about 2005. They had everything you wanted to see short of outright murder on YouTube. And I think that's how we should be. And I say that for this reason. Snapzilla Gorilla uses the word anarchy. Anarchy is not, or it is not what you think it is. It's simply meaning you do you, I do me. If you don't like what I'm doing, you simply turn your head so long as I'm not hurting anyone. That's what true anarchy is. And that's the beauty of YouTube when it first started out. The banner read YouTube, broadcast yourself. Right? Well, that banner no longer says that. They took that down. Google, who is the parent company of YouTube, they bought them in 2006. Their phrase was "Don't be evil," and I think everyone knows that YouTube and Google have some evil within them now. But it was an open source platform where people can broadcast themselves, and that's a beautiful thing. Again, when I saw that dude freestyling and giving his all to that woman, yes, that's anarchy. You may not like it, but I liked it. Simply change your station if you don't like it. Well, now we've gotten to the point now that everything is becoming sanitized, and you have to follow the community guidelines and things like that. But enough of me ranting. I'm going to step aside and I'm going to let you hear what Susan Wojcicki, whose sister, by the way, named Ann, is the founder of the personal genomics platform called 23andMe. So if you want to find out who you are, go to 23andMe. But for my videos, I think that you should be transparent and you should have videos that matter. But what I may say won't be within the community guidelines. And this is why I've had about 11 videos of mine taken down. All right. And I think there should be something to be said about how you run your YouTube channel. I get all that. But when it comes down to just outright censorship because of your point of view, and especially with the quote virus that we're having now, that's a problem. So I'm going to go on and step aside now. All y'all take care. Greenville, Mississippi till I die.
Streaming video, of course, is up across the board, from Netflix to Hulu, Disney Plus, and all the rest. YouTube is seeing a big spike in views of news videos. This Bloomberg headline citing a thirst for virus updates. There are a lot of facets to YouTube. Mis and disinformation is a problem on that platform as well. I spoke with YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki for her first interview since the pandemic really started to spread worldwide about the changes that YouTube has made to address the surge in viewership.
We've served billions of impressions across our network that come from all the different public health organizations and made sure that people understand what are the resources. I never thought we'd have so many videos of hand washing, for example, but that's just one example, but we've served so many different areas to make sure that users are getting the right information. We've actually seen a 75% increase in the news coming from authoritative sources since the beginning of 2020. So we've seen a lot of demand there. But then we also—
What does that mean? That means an increase in video views for those?
Yeah, and so we talk about that as raising authoritative information. But then we also talk about removing information that is problematic. Of course, anything that instantiated, so people saying like take vitamin C, take turmeric, like those all will cure you. Those are the examples of things that would be a violation of our policy. Anything that would go against World Health Organization recommendations would be a violation of our policy. And so remove is another really important part of our policy.
So you're not just putting the truth next to the lie, you're taking the lie down. That's a pretty aggressive approach.
Well, we do remove, across YouTube in non-pandemic times, information of our policy, and we've had community guidelines since the very beginning of YouTube, and we've always anything that is a violation of our policy, we do remove it. And what was really unique about this was just how fast-moving the COVID-19 crisis was, and so we've had to make numerous policy changes all within a really short period of time to be able to make sure that we stayed abreast of the changes. So, for example, just recently there was a theory that 5G was causing coronavirus symptoms. Now, no organization says that 5G is the source of the issue, and so that we quickly deemed that a violation of our policies with COVID-19 and remove that content.
Everyone's YouTube is different. Are there certain videos that basically everybody is seeing because they are so important or they are from such authoritative sources?
Well, we definitely saw a really high click-through and all the different public health information that we made available. But this crisis has just moved so quickly. I think that's what the speed of it has taken breath in terms of how quickly we move from just having a few infections, right, to having large parts of the world being under quarantine. And we certainly have seen how our users have changed. So first starting with just really basic information about what was coronavirus, then we really focused on the stay-at-home messages and got that. And now, really interestingly, we're seeing a lot of users come to us and want to know about life under quarantine. And so we see a lot of interest in things like exercise at home, like how do I fix my dishwasher? How do I fix my freezer? How do I give myself a haircut? I've definitely seen an evolution across our in all these different ways.
Do you think this crisis has caused YouTube to change in ways that'll be long-term?
Well, I certainly have seen changes. I think in many ways we've seen an acceleration of our digital lives. We used to see movies, science fiction movies, where we would talk about kids going to school in the future, where they would be, on screens, and they would be going to a school that wasn't really in their neighborhood, and that seemed like science fiction. And now we have all of our kids, or so many of them, are have some kind of digital school program now, because schools are closed, sadly.